Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And one of the packages that I had been waiting for did arrive. And I decided to go ahead and dip into it. And I decided to go back in time. This is one of two complete MREs that I got from Nicholas Clow, also known as Killing Zombies. That's his YouTube channel, and that is annotated here. There is in the announcement post. And I would really love it if he would show up to one of my lives when I do stuff that he sends me. But I did pay for a whole box of stuff. And unfortunately, one of the items that I got accidentally sliced, but that's okay. I went ahead and prepared it. But this is an AmeriQual pack. This one had been previously opened, but to look at the contents only. Nothing has been consumed out of it. So if there was an inner bag, I don't remember if AmeriQual started doing that back then or if they didn't do that until after 2000. But it's been a long time since I had a 90s tan bag. So this one looked very interesting. I'd never gotten a hold of this menu. So just in case some of the items in here are a bit sketchy, I have a backup plan. So as usual, I will use the MRE bag as my trash bag. So here we have the accessory pack, and it is definitely a different type of packaging. There's no stamping at all on the outside, and it actually has a tear notch like any other pouch. But get into that in a bit. And you saw one of the items that could be a bit sketchy. And the spoon back then was in a slightly different type of plastic wrapper. It's not so stiff and noisy. And I went ahead and checked these items just to make sure everything was there. This is the item that could be a bit sketchy, although I would really love to try this, but as you can hear, it's very crunchy. And this packet looked like it maybe not have been made right, because there's a little bit of this extra on this side hanging off. But I may still try to mess with that at another time. Fudge brownie cake. I had never seen this. I don't know if I've ever seen a video with anyone opening a fudge brownie cake. I have to look at the ingredients. I actually should have beforehand to see if it has nuts, which could have gone rancid. A quick look at the ingredients. I didn't see any nuts in there. And then this is something that might also be a bit sketchy. Cheese spread with jalapeno, but in a much larger packet. And this is a 1.5 ounce, as opposed to the 1 ounce packets that we get now. And then my favorite crackers. I prefer these over the plain crackers. They just have flavor to them. And they look like they have something good in them. And then check this out. Smokey has seen some of these FRHs that look like this. Just everything in one loose, like a hand or body warmer. This is the first time I've gotten hold of an FRH like this, so obviously this is going to be a keeper. And here it says US 1998. So the coloring on here is somewhat like the older FRHs that had the cardboard element in there. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then the last thing, this is when they used to put the entrees and any other retorts in boxes. And there is a date code on that. This is the chicken and rice. So just in case, as I said, some of these things are not quite edible, I have a backup plan. Now look at the accessory pack. See, Infos is here, Prep for It is here, Spicy Tuna Rolls is here. These bags are a whole lot thicker than the current MRE bags, which obviously sorry about that, I couldn't hold that sneeze back. This coffee might actually be good. And if it is, this would be the second time that I have had one of these Red Packet Taster Choice coffees actually be drinkable. Most of the time, they've already gone to crap. And this gum has definitely aged. It should be white as my mug, but look at that color difference. But this would be the peppermint gum. Got the Domino sugar. You know that's going to be good. This is how the creamer used to be packed in the 90s. It actually sounds good. Whether or not it is good, I'll find out. And this was the moist towelette that was used back then. And it looks like it got it from the Tabasco sauce. Yeah, this possibly have leaked around here. It is still liquidy inside. But the salt definitely got it. It's still good inside, but at least some of it. I just may empty this salt into something else, try to salvage it. The matches definitely got it. Yeah, you can see that. That's dried Tabasco on there. Even soaked through to a couple of the matches themselves. But the rear roll itself is clean. So the match has protected the rear roll. Obviously, these will not get used. But this creamer packet did not get affected by the Tabasco, and neither did the sugar or the coffee packet. And I dropped the sugar, so I had to go ahead and pick that up. I'm going to open this up and let's see how this Taster's Choice looks. If it looks good, oh, look at that. That is perfect. That is perfect. I know the sugar's going to be good, so I'm going to go ahead and toss that in. I'm going to open up the creamer, but I won't quite dump it in yet. That looks good to me. I'm going to do what Smokey's has done. It does taste a little weird. But I'm going to go with it. Let's take a look at this. This is the old school dark green. Right here is where it was printed, but it would be very, very difficult to read that. There is the Carlos Perry in the house. But the pouch itself looks pretty good. Tear notch goes across this way. And then there's another one down here. But the way they got it packed, the food completely fills the pouch, so it's very, very nicely put in there. Of course, the rice being the bulk of it, most likely. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the water to heat this up, and then I will bring back the kettle to put the water in for the coffee. And then I'll take the kettle back, and then I will bring my backup plan in for the drink because, like I said, I went ahead and prepared that drink mix that I sliced when I opened up the box yesterday. There was nothing on top of the box over the items to protect it from being cut open. So I had a little bit of powder everywhere, but I did salvage it. It definitely smells like coffee. There is Cliff in the house. Thanks for dropping in. There's Jay in the house. And there's Gil. Kemp Pet and Family Compound. For those that were in the service back in the late 90s or who otherwise had access to these MREs when they were fresh, this might bring back a memory or three. So that is a coffee mixed up. And since this thing is a bit sketchy, I will do it like I did those Russian drinks when they were all clumped up and very difficult. I spilled some of it, but that's okay. I'm going to go get a paper towel, fix that. This is that tropical fruit drink that came from a British ration. So I had mixed it up in this and just put it in the fridge. So I had a tiny nip. time to see what this fudge brownie cake looks like. This sounds very interesting. Yes. And that didn't rip very well, but that gives you an idea of the layers of these pouches. Oxygen absorber. There is James Ortiz in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I do have knives, so. But I never know if something is going to work right until I try it. But I do have knives handy. Let's see if we can get a. Oh, that was a squeaker. That was a squeaker. That's what these crackers look like. My backup plan for if the coffee would not have been good would have been this Russian coffee that was in the box. Now, I get to save that for another day. Then I have a modern cheese spread with jalapenos. So you can definitely see the difference between the two packets. Even slight difference in color. So this one may be the user. If this one is sketchy, but I'm going to go ahead and knead it up. It doesn't feel hard, it just feels full. There is Tim in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Now, there's not a whole lot of coffee in that packet. Of course, there's not a whole lot in there either. But that's a freeze-dried coffee, whereas this is a spray-dried. But I will not open this yet. I'm going to show you my final backup plan. Just in case the main is not edible, this sweet and sour chicken sandwich. So keeping with the chicken theme. So in case the main is not edible, I got this. And I just brought out a small plate to put that on. So I will keep that right there. Yep. And that box was full of backup plans. I'm going to go ahead and take a taste of this coffee. It's actually not too bad for a taster's choice. Even that creamer, I'm not getting anything funky off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the main and bring that in. And I'll be right back. I brought a fresh paper towel to dry it with. And this that I use to carry my hot items in is just a dome lid, part of my cookware that I've had since college, back in the 80s. That was a lot of money at this time for this set, but it has served me well. So put that back there. No, I have not heard from her. Smokey is going live tomorrow night, so he may be in contact with her. I shake the food down below the tear notch, but I'll use the top one. Nice clean rip on that. It actually smells pretty good. Very little left in there. got veggies in here. It looks close to a ground chicken. No. And it smelled good. I took a big whiff of the pouch right after I opened it. And it smelled pretty darn good. I just ate one grain of the rice. Very soft, but it tastes like it should. Just took a nip of some of the chicken. It's a finely shredded chicken. Very soft. No problem with that at all. There is a bit of a tang to it. Looks like green and red bell pepper in there. I'm not getting any funky sensations. Yep, that is very true. That is very true. But sometimes you just have to take the dive. It looks like this will have to wait for another day. I'm going to go ahead and a little piece broke off one of the cracker, just the right size I want to take a nibble of. Nice crunch, nice toasty flavor. That's a winner. That is definitely a winner. It's got these lines, which they don't anymore. Sometimes you can get a good snap off of it. Yeah, I couldn't see the date code on here, even though it was Ameriqual. Sometimes they get stamped into the same. Well, I hear fireworks. There must be some people celebrating Lunar New Year. I, I just looked again for date code, but I can't find it. But 8254. It's a bit. Is a date code on the cheese spread. So this was probably packed towards the end of the year, given that date code, and the one that is on on the entree. I tried to look at the date code on the drink packet, but it didn't get stamped very well. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this piece of this brownie cake. It definitely smells like it's been around a while, but it still has that cocoa flavor or that cocoa scent to it. It definitely tastes old, and I'm getting a slight fuzzy sensation, so I won't be eating any more of that. There's Wickershire Project in here. Thanks for dropping in. Looking at a 1998 US MRE Menu 8. This was packed towards the end of 1998. But unfortunately, the brownie did not make it. But these crackers are just fine. They're the vegetable crackers, my favorite. The red packet, Taster's Choice, survived. Nothing wrong with it. So this chicken and rice has a slight tang to it, but it's still very good. So something in that has gone to crap because I got that kind of fuzzy, cottony type sensation in my mouth. So no more of that. But these vegetable crackers, I love these. Gonna open this cheese spread just a little. It definitely smells sharp. But unfortunately, it looks like peanut butter. So that cheese is a no-go. That is what it's supposed to look like. Not that. In fact, this is going into, I'm going to drop it right down into the box that the entree came in. Yeah, I definitely will not be keeping that around. In fact, after this is done and I clean up, I just may put this whole bag of trash into a plastic shopping bag and then take it out to the dumpster and let the critters have at it. Yeah, I am brave for actually trying this, but I'm not crazy enough to put myself in the hospital this close to Ramadan. I may squeeze some of this. Oh, that didn't work. I'll just do it this way. See how this tastes. Well, that will definitely add a little spice. Well, if he wants to come over here to Des Moines and pick up that funky stuff that used to be cheese, he can have at it. And same with this brownie cake. As much as I would love to enjoy that, I'm going to have to pass. Cheese on these veggie crackers, that's a winner. Well, it would have to be packed up very, very well. Probably 10 layers to cover the stink, and they still may end up tossing that package in the trash. Yeah, Wickershire Project. I have been into it. I just started casually watching. I was first getting into prepping. I was looking at rations as a possible component of my long-term food storage. I was thinking about starting to try them, and then I won my first MRE from another reviewer. His name is Sticky Fingers 745. He doesn't do videos as often as he used to, being a dad and life issues and stuff like that, but he will drop a vid now and then. But I actually opened that up on camera. This was when I was just shooting the videos instead of doing the lives like I have been. But I opened that one on camera and I ate it on camera. I'd have to dig way back into my library. So I actually won that one in 2017. So that's when I first got into it. And then I picked up one or two here and there. I started doing them monthly. And then I was able to get a few more. This was before I got monetized. So I wasn't able to get as many of them, but I was able to get some foreign ones. So I was doing them once a month. And then I kind of built up to twice a month. And of course, during Ramadan, I take a break and I don't do any reviews at all, except for 2020. I did them because I was not going to the mosque for the iftar dinner every night. Yeah. In fact, I did a trade with him. I sent him a Polish mess kit, one of the civilian type scout mess kits, because he likes collecting them. And I have that same mess kit in my collection. So he sent me one of the heater meals that he had also done videos on. But that one did not fare so well. That one was messed up, as in a couple of the items exploded. And I had to do a lot of cleanup before I could even go back to my table. At that time, I was just using a TV tray, a wood one, before I got this table. But yeah, I had to take a long pause just to clean up a whole lot of mess. But speaking of Spanish, I have done a few Spanish ration reviews. But you look at my unboxing video yesterday, I specifically requested all Spanish and Polish items that he had. So one of them was the meatballs with peas. Oh, yeah. We serve rice with ground beef and mixed veggies in it every Friday after the Friday prayer. And we have it every night during Ramadan and any other special dinners that we do. And it's always basmati rice. So I have taken a liking to that. It's more expensive than the basic rice that this uses. But I still have some in my stash. The basmati rice is one of those that you have to rinse before you cook it. You're getting rid of any dust and some of the starch that's on it. And then you cook it. But it is a good rice. I really do enjoy eating it, and if I could, that would be the only rice I would buy. But I get what rice I can. In fact, I recently picked up some that I will show in my next shopping haul. But it's the common rice that everybody gets here. Yeah, see, I can't do that because I don't have the capacity to haul that. Plus, I just don't have the space in my apartment. So the biggest size I've gotten is a 5-pounder. And that's as large as I will go when it comes to an individual bag of rice. Because that's my limit on, because I'm just prepping for me. But of course, I will help out a relative. But I like to keep it in smaller portions, especially if it's only going to be me who will be eating it, and maybe if I give some to my cat. I have beans as well. I have a variety of beans. Yeah, Cliff, you definitely have to have a stash like that, especially up there. Who knows? It may be some, you know, less frequent trips into town. Sometimes deliveries can be a bugger. Yeah, definitely a good idea because after all, we never know what could happen. Something could go south and sideways and backwards at the same time in a heartbeat. Yeah, yeah, red beans and rice, that is, I think that's a popular southern dish. You can even find it in cans. In fact, I watched a video of one of Alaska Granny's trips to when she's in the lower 48 where she has a second property or a second home. She actually has three properties. In the Southwest, she goes to Dollar Tree and she has actually found red beans and rice in a can in the Dollar Tree. They don't have Dollar Trees up in Alaska, at least not where she's at. But I think I might have to look for that in a store down here. And maybe go ahead and giving it a try. And I'm going to give this a try. Yeah, that's another good way to eat this as well. Yeah, that is a brand I would definitely expect to see that. I do like other Zatarain's products, but next time I'm looking at other Zatarain's items in a store where the canned entrees are, I'll check for that and see if it's there. Yep, that is very true. Although some of us can't grow a whole lot like others can, but I don't have those particular squash seeds. Last year, when I volunteered at the White Eagle Multicultural Powwow, they do a giveaway at the end, and a whole bunch of stuff is laid out in in the performance circle. And I had contributed some little Olight flashlights. I got several of them in different colors, but someone had put down a whole mess of seeds and no one took the seeds, so I did. And then the year before last year, someone dropped a whole mess of the Genovese basil seeds. No one took them, so I snatched them up. And I passed a lot of those around. I sent a bunch to Joe to give away on his Sunday Fun Day videos, streams. And I think he's done that. I have usually already kicked out before he does a lot of his giveaways during that. He did not do that live today because he's having a Super Bowl party. And he did a little video of the food and some of the drinks that he's got going on. But I sent him a bunch of those seed packets, Genovese basil. I kept a couple for myself. And then I sent some to a couple other YouTubers. One, Homestead Tessie. I sent her one or two packets. And then Disabled and Prepping, she can only grow a few things in her small apartment. Now she has an arrow garden, so she can grow a few more things. But she also supports community gardens in her town. So I sent her a few packets so that she can keep one for herself. And then the rest she can donate to the community gardens. So when she wins seeds, she keeps some and then she gives some to the community garden. So that's a double win for her and her town. So some of the seeds that I picked up last year are being split. I will barter some in like doing a seed swap. And then I may trade some later, especially those I cannot grow. But no one picked up those seeds, so I thought someone has to give them a good home. I hope that one day I might be able to have access to a place where I can either plant them or have someone plant them and take care of them for me, and then we split any harvest. Well, if you got those seeds on sale, then heck, why not? Yeah, you go. Yeah, wish. Yeah, I'm in 5A. There's my crusher in the house. Thanks for dropping in. 1998. I had to dip into two of my Plan B items. This chocolate brownie cake is not good. Red packet, Taster's Choice, awesome. Even the creamer is good. The original cheese spread with jalapenos that was in here, it was brown like peanut butter. It had gone to crap. And then this cherry flavored drink mix. It's very crunchy. It's not powdery. But I am going to mess with it later and see if I can just put it in the fridge or just mix it up like I did those Russian drinks that had really gotten caked up. And I mixed both packets in my drinking jar at once, and then I just let it sit in the fridge for pretty much most of the day. But the main is good, so I did not have to go to my Plan B. This is also included in that box that I got from Nicholas Glow of the Killing Zombies channel. But these vegetable crackers, they are perfect. And they're a perfect pair with the jalapeno cheese spread. When I opened up the cheese that was in this ration, I could not smell the jalapeno at all. All I smelled was the old funk. I like that this has some bits of veggies in it. Now, a couple of the items that were in the accessory packet got compromised by this leaker. I'm not sure where it leaked from, but it had to come out from the side because the bottle itself feels absolutely clean. But yeah, this wet wipe, oops, I'm afraid this is going to have to go bye-bye. And I might be able to salvage some of this salt. Still sounds good, but I think some of it might be, there's a hard clump right there up in the corner where it absorbed some of the moisture. But I think this salt saved the coffee and the sugar and the rear roll from getting contaminated. And the matches, yeah, that's a hot mess. Yeah, the staple's rusted. Yeah, I'd like to save every matchbook I can out of these MREs, but I may take the matches out and just oh, it just came out. Well, yeah, look at that. It just completely came out of this. Oh, they're stuck together. Yep, these are toast. These are toast. Yep, wet wipe is going into the trash as well. But this rear roll, perfect. So that one's a keeper. That's right. I may end up actually using that Tabasco. I have older bottles of this out of the brown bag MREs. Absolutely perfect. This is still liquid in there, but I think I may end up opening this one later and then just putting it on something. And since my dessert is toast, I never thought about that brownie cake being messed up, but I may go into my fridge where I stashed those 2 chocolate bars and I may take half of it. And thanks for dropping in, Mike. I would say more likely something else besides just critters. I mean, Smokey has found some dead ones in ration packaging, and Shauna, the Ration Museum, has found some. And I bet even Steve has found some. But I think this one, the parts that gone and went bad, just plain funk. I'm going to squeeze a little bit more onto this just for the sheer heck of it. I do like this cheese spread on this chicken and rice. Adds a little extra flavor. And I'm glad it was a jalapeno and not just a plain cheese spread, because that would have been too salty. But this is just fine. I'm going to have another swig of this. I really wanted to open up that cherry drink, but that is going to take some extra work like I did with that Russian citrus drink. But I'm glad the coffee worked out. Yeah, usually the red packet Taster's Choice, it's gone to crap, but to have one that was perfect condition, oh, that definitely made me happy. I'm still not getting any weirdness from it, even with that creamer that's in there. There is Hugo Homestead in the house. Thanks for dropping in. We're looking at a 1998 MRE. Some of the items didn't make it. And this peppermint gum should be as white as my mug, but it's definitely showing its age. It looks darker than a coffee creamer. But this chicken and rice is perfectly fine. The brownie cake didn't make it, so I won't be finishing that off. This cherry drink mix, which I so wanted to try. Some of it is just rock hard. And the Tabasco bottle leaked. Ruined the matches, ruined the moist towelette wrapper. Even got the salt. But everything else in the accessory packet was spared. This is a citrus drink out of a British Ration. This is the one that I accidentally sliced into when I was opening the box yesterday. So I went ahead and mixed it up. Had a little bit of powder loss, but I'm okay with that. I did have a backup plan in case the coffee wasn't good. This Russian coffee packet was in that box, so I just kept it handy in case the Taster's Choice had gone to crap. But I can save that Russian coffee for another day. But I'm very glad this chicken and rice turned out to be pretty good. Now the cheese is my backup plan because the original jalapeno cheese spread had gone to crap. This would have been my backup plan if the chicken and rice wouldn't have been edible. This is also in the box. I don't think I've ever had this one before, so this is going to go back into the ration box for a future video, or if I choose to take it on a trip where I have to provide some of my own food. Oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to bump my mouth, but I have a tendency to do that a lot. But these vegetable crackers, I wish these would be in more MREs because I love these things, and these were perfect. Unfortunately, the sugar that's in that brownie cake was not enough to save it. It gave me that cottony, super dry, weird taste in my mouth. So, unfortunately, that will not be going into my belly. That one little bite was enough. So I may go after one of those big Polish chocolate bars and take a half. But other than that, this is a really awesome one to check out. I've heard about this chicken and rice, and I've wanted to try it, and now I did, and I'm glad I did. I do hope to get a chocolate brownie cake that is edible. But this is the first time I had heard of this specific item as a dessert in an MRE. I didn't know they existed. Maybe I just hadn't seen any videos of these in here. There is Diana in the house. That's okay. You're still here before it ended. You're only late if you come to it after it's gone to replay. So the chicken and rice, it had some bits of green and red bell pepper in it. It tasted perfectly fine. It could have used a little spice, but unfortunately the Tabasco had leaked out, or some of it. It leaked out into the accessory packet, messed up the matches, messed up the moist towelette, hit the salt packet. But the coffee, the creamer, the sugar, and the rear roll all survived. Of course, the gum did, but it's dark. The cheese spread didn't make it, so I got a much newer jalapeno cheese spread to replace the original one that looks like peanut butter but does not smell like peanut butter. And then the cherry. So I went with the one that accidentally sliced open yesterday, and I just mixed it up and stuck it in the fridge. British Ration drink. I figured I'm not going to throw that whole thing away. I'll save as much of that powder as I can, so I did. Yeah, it does sound good. What I may do later is I just may go ahead and do what I did a few weeks ago with the two Russian citrus drinks that were all clumped up. Normally they have a lot of moisture already in them, so it takes a whole lot of stirring and just sitting time for them to dissolve. So I may do the same with the cherry drink. Just go ahead and get as much of it out as I can. Mix it and just let it sit in the fridge and then stir it every once in a while. Maybe I'll do that ahead of my next ration review, just to see how well it fared, because I really want to try that. I've never had a US MRE cherry drink. I've had the Minotaur cherry drink. But I've never had one from an actual US ration, so I really do want to go for it. The red packet taster's choice, and sometimes the brown packet ones that predated the little stick packets we have now. Usually they go to crap, and it's not good to mix those, or at least it's not good to consume them. But this one was absolutely perfect brown powder. So no doubt I'm going to finish that off. the retort pouch that the main was in was a very dark green, darker, a whole lot darker than this tray. There is Shadow Scout Sweet in the house. Thanks for dropping in from the other side of the pond, where it is already Monday morning. And he will either be getting his first cup of coffee or he will be getting his next one. Packed in 1998. I could not find the date code on this bag because, or I could not read it. It's pressed in, it got pressed into the seam, so it's very hard to make that out. But it had to be late 98 because of the date codes on everything else in here. But I had to make a few substitutions. This is not the original jalapeno cheese spread. This is a newer one because the one that was in there, although it felt good when I was kneading it, it was a color of peanut butter and it smelled like funk. This is a chocolate brownie cake, but unfortunately, something in it has gone rancid. There are no nuts in it, according to the ingredients, but there's something in it that went to crap. Oh, that was a good one, Cliff. That was a good one. Well, I think I am going to go get that Polish chocolate bar, and I will take half of it. I'll be right back. These big things. 60% cacao. These were broken like this in half when I took them out of the box yesterday. So the rest of this, I'll save for later. So this will be my dessert tonight. Cottage cheese for breakfast is something that I have never thought about. That's what I like about European dark chocolates. They have that good hard snap to it. There you go. If anyone ever remembers the Buck Rogers movie, where somehow he was in a deep coma and somehow managed to stay in that state for a few centuries, and basically everybody ate these thick brown patties that look like overly processed lab generated meat substitute. And that was their food every day. I have eaten cottage cheese with peaches. One of my high school friends used to like to eat it with ketchup. Even though she was allergic to tomatoes, she still had to have her cottage cheese with ketchup. But I had never considered having it for breakfast. Oh, spicy. Is this one of the colors? Is brown one of the colors? Yeah, I really like the 70% cacao bars. I think that's my favorite. Yeah, this is starting to get that, but I am going to enjoy every bit of this one. These European chocolates have so much better flavor than the American ones. Of course, there are some good American chocolates, but you'll pay a price for those. Yeah, because of all the other items that Nicholas sent, when I asked for everything Spanish and Polish that he had, and I bought out all of the Russian cheeses that he had. So with that main that I previously got from him, I now have enough. I can do a complete Polish meal because I got a Polish hot drink, I got Polish cold drinks. I got that Polish main that he sent me in the previous box that I got from him. I got this. I got a whole nother one of these. I got the Polish special biscuits. In fact, I couldn't wait to get into those. I ate a couple of those packets, the ones that were already broken. I went ahead and ate those as part of my lunch. But I'm saving the other two. I got a Polish jam in there. So I can do a complete Polish meal. As if I'd opened up a Polish ration. There is Smitty in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Good to see you here. $19.98. Not all of it held up. This chocolate brownie cake didn't make it. The cheese spread had gone defunct. The cherry drink. A couple of rock hard bits. But the red packet taster's choice. You're looking at it. Perfect. The chicken and rice main was very good. Had a tiny bit of a tang to it, but I actually like that. I did not have to go to my plan B for that. I had to go to my plan B for the drink, which is the one that I accidentally sliced yesterday. I salvaged it and went ahead and mixed it and just kept it in the fridge. This is that citrus drink from a British Ration. But I am going to attempt that cherry. It's just going to take a long time for it to dissolve. But this little bugger, it leaked out onto some of the items in the accessory pack. Matches came apart. They got compromised. I can't use those. This is what happened to the salt. Almost went all the way through. Moist towelette got messed up, so those are already going to go to the trash. This is what the gum looks like. Oops. Should be as white as my mug. But the rear roll is perfect. Not a stain on it. So this one's a keeper. But the cool thing, look at this FRH. This is the first time I've gotten a close-up look at this. All this stuff loose inside that packet that's very thin. You can see through it. Next generation after the ones with the cardboard element that had the holes in it, and that stuff would fall out of it. But it's got the two sets of tear notches, one up here to open the bag, to fill it, and to put your pouch in, and then the second one down here, so after you use it and you go to take it out, you can rip it across here to make it easier to take the pouch out. But I'm going to keep this one close. I'm going to hold on to this thing because I had never seen one like this before up close. So I thought that was totally cool. Well, that is something that will they'll make themselves known when I open the box. I know I have a FedEx package sitting at a FedEx office. I diverted it to go there instead of here because FedEx drivers will not follow delivery instructions. So as soon as I got the notification that it was in transit and moving, I went ahead and had it diverted to a FedEx office, but unfortunately I'll have to go get it tomorrow because I had no time yesterday to get it because I was at the mosque doing a bunch of stuff for Ramadan prep until like 7:30 is when I finally left, and that FedEx office closed at 7. And it's not open on the weekends, so I have to go get it tomorrow. And I couldn't go get it on Thursday when it arrived there because, again, I didn't leave till, I didn't get home till, I couldn't go there before 7 o'clock. Yes, something happened to. I used to buy the Cadbury eggs also, and when I could get the chocolate filled ones, I would go for those. But yeah, there's something. I don't buy those much anymore. Yeah, no, this is a FedEx office that's on 6th and, sorry, we've just disconnect. 6th and Locust Street. The Southwest 9th one is more like one of their regular distribution centers. Or is a FedEx office that used to be the Kinko's before FedEx bought out the Kinko's chain and turned all of those locations into FedEx office. You can do everything that you used to do at Kinko's, like making copies, printing stuff off of a digital file, having signs and other things like that made off of your templates, plus all of the shipping services. Now you can do all that at FedEx office, plus buy supplies. Whereas their distribution center on Southwest Ninth, all you can do is the shipping services. Yeah, it's been a few years since I went to that Southwest Ninth location, and it's very hard to get at when you walk. And when I went in, I wasn't sure if they would even let me in, even though there were other people in there doing the same thing that I was doing. And even though I supposedly didn't have to pay to pick up a package that I had already paid for the shipping, I wasn't sure if they were going to let me take it, even though there was nothing even remotely suspicious about the contents. So I'll go to the FedEx office tomorrow and get that package. And then I got, I call them peach cards in my snail mailbox yesterday or Friday saying, it was marked kind of weird. Apparently, this was a substitute mail carrier who doesn't know how to mark them properly. And so it had both letter and package, but where the intended recipient is supposed to fill in the name and the address, that mail carrier did it. And there was some other markings in there that I thought seemed kind of weird. So I was able to be down there yesterday when the regular mail carrier came in, and I showed it, and I told him that I got this card, this notice that I thought was kind of strange, and he looked at it and said, yeah, that wasn't filled out right. And it looked like it had a delivery charge that was equal to yesterday's date on it, which is kind of weird. Dang. This is February 24. That makes me wonder if either they got raided before they left the U.S. or somehow got lost in the system, which has happened, or they somehow get delivered to the wrong address. Maybe someone doesn't know how to read. Yeah, I remember the Radio Shack. near where my mosque is on University Avenue near 42nd Street. When that Radio Shack went out, Sprint cellular store went in there, and then when Sprint got bought out by T-Mobile, it became T-Mobile. So I used to go into that Radio Shack every once in a while to buy things. I think I bought I bought a wireless mouse in there. I used to buy those air duster cans. I call them can of air. You could spray off a keyboard or other electronics or things like that. And to try to clean them. I used to buy them there. But now those things are so dang expensive, I don't try to buy them anywhere. Oh, crap. Maybe it got confiscated in China. I wonder if that's what happened. Someone in their postal system probably decided to get greedy and nip. Yeah, who knows what their customs is like. I have never sent anything there other than a return, and a person doing the postage here had a hard time trying to figure out what the heck the address was, even though it was clearly written on the label, just that their system here, it just really wasn't compatible with the address style that this place used. It didn't cost much to return. In fact, I think I only paid maybe $2 or $3 at that time. This is years ago. Yeah, that is really strange. Like I said, that makes me wonder if someone somewhere doesn't know how to read. I very rarely buy anything online that is shipped to me directly from China unless it's, although more often than not, you know, I do buy Olight lights. Most of them are coming from U.S. warehouses, so they're made there, but they're shipped in bulk to the U.S. warehouses, and then that's where I get those from. But I very rarely say if I'm going to go buy something on eBay, if I see that it comes from China, I usually avoid it, even if it's less expensive and free shipping. You know, I never know whether it's going to get to me in good condition or if it's going to be the wrong item or if I'll get a note saying, your Tabi socks have been confiscated. Hmm. You might have to clickbait title that one. That might get at least a couple of extra looks. That'll do for that coffee. I do have some more rations that are supposed to be coming in. I ordered some U.S. rations through MRE Mountain, and I got a partial order, but I'm waiting on the rest of it so I can open them up together. They are not all shipped in the same package, but I got a shipping update notification. But when I go to hit on where it says track package, it doesn't recognize the tracking number or whatever. It opens up a worldwide package tracking system that lists several mail services from different countries. It's like, what the heck? So I took a screenshot of that and I sent that in an email to their customer service. I have yet to get a response on that. But part of my order, which I won't say what's in there, but part of that came in one box. A single piece of packing material. It depends on what you get. There's a sale on some of their items. Like they had a random set of 4 Sopaco civilian meals. And then they had an older tan bag, similar to this one, but a different menu. It was like chicken tetrazzini. They had that one on sale. And now I get an email saying French RCIRs are on sale, but I'm not going to buy any of them because I know I'm going to get them rated. Well, I made a small Temu order, and I showed that. And that one was a pair of small silicone baking mats, like for a 9 by 13 cake pan. It's 9-inch by 13-inch. And then a pair of grill gloves. And then some rechargeable AA batteries and some circuit board or breaker panel labels and some mini sketchbooks that are about the size, you know, they're about this size. Yeah, I've seen some of their things like the Ration drum and that sleeping bag in a can. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. I used to get a whole lot more emails and text messages from Timu, but I haven't gotten any of those for some time since I made that initial order, so I don't think I'll be messing with that much. But speaking of rations, next week I will go ahead and pull out the other MRE that I got with this one. It's a newer one, so I'm pretty sure I won't have any issues with that. So I won't need to set up a backup plan. Well, actually none, because I'm going to go ahead and take this paper towel and I'll go bye-bye. You don't have to stare at it anymore. If I can turn autocorrect off every chance I get, I will do that. But now lately, when I'm typing something on Facebook or even in Messenger, it's throwing word suggestions at me, and most of the time it doesn't make sense. Or it's telling me to put the @ sign so I can put in the name of another Facebook user. Like, what the heck? There's no way to turn that off. I didn't used to get those word suggestions until like starting this month. That's when I started getting those. Like, what the heck? Well, I'm not buying a vehicle that drives itself. Heck no. You can't trust the GPS 3/4 of the time. Like, your driver can be using it and you'll be at your destination, but it will say that you're not. Or it will try to lead you to a dead end. Instead of being on the correct path. Or instead of taking the most direct route, it'll give you the longest. Even when there's no obstructions on the most direct route. That's, of course, I think cabbies like that because they can jack the fares that way. Well, thanks for dropping in. I'm going to call this one good anyway since I've basically I finished everything off except for this drink. I'll save the other half of this for another day. But again, a big shout out to Nicholas Glow for putting this one in. Plus all the other stuff that he added. Some of it was specific requests off his list. And some I just said, like I said, all of the Spanish and Polish items you got. And so I got them. Not too many Spanish ones, but I got all the Russian cheeses he had. And I sent him the pate that was in the Russian ration that I got from him previously that I could not figure out the meat source, whether it was pork or beef or what. I couldn't translate the ingredients because of the text was curved like that, and the rim of that little foiled tin was dinged up a bit. Couldn't straighten that out to straighten out the label. And since he had been wanting pates, I just went ahead and said, I'll send that one back to you. So I packed it up real well and sent it back. So he will get to enjoy that one. But still, this is very cool, checking out an older menu that I had never had before. And I've gotten to see items that I had not seen before. Even if I couldn't enjoy them, I still got to see them. But next week should be a better one. It's a menu I've had before, but not in a long time. But I will have hopefully more stuff in. So tomorrow I'll pick up a package, and I'm going to keep checking on the status of the remainder of my MRE Mountain order. I don't know what those Sapaco menus are going to be, but it's still going to be something that I can add to my lineup. Possibly a few more items for ration mashups. Yeah, good luck with that one, Tim. That's going to be a hard one to pull off. So anyway, I want to thank you all for dropping in. And thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.